What up, y'all? It's Chris Weathers, aka Shorty C94, back at you again with yet another episode of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. It's episode 118. Our guest is I Collect Kicks. Let's see if we can get a hold of him. What's up, everybody? Let's get our guest in just a sec. Earl, Dre, I Collect Kicks. About to send you the invites. Be ready in just a sec. What's up, Crispy and Clean? What's up, Karan72? Yes, Earl, I won the 3, and you didn't. That did happen. Sorry you didn't win, my friend. Just wait for our guest to join. Be ready in just a sec. Okay, invite is sent. What's up, Tommy Big Shoes? Okay, see if we can send another invite. I mean, Earl, you do have the crown jewel LeBron 10s. I mean, what's up, Marlon? Tommy Big Shoes. I'm just trying to get like you, man. There we go. What's up, man?
What's good? What's good, bro?
Chilling, man. Thank you for being here.
No problem.
Yeah, I wasn't,
Thank you for having me.
no problem, man. I wasn't sure if you was gonna come with the mask or not. You know what
Oh,
I'm
no.
saying? Yeah, man. Well, welcome. Well, everybody knows who you are already, but you want to introduce yourself to people who may not know who you are?
Rob, everybody knows me on YouTube, Instagram, as I Collect Kicks. And yeah, just love sneakers, Nike basketball, Air Maxes, foam posits. That's mostly what I collect.
Okay.
And I got some
All right.
LeBrons, got some SBs,
Got
but
it.
mostly like old school Nike basketball, some Air Maxes, and Griffey, stuff like that.
Okay, cool. That's right up my alley. So perfect. Before we get into the show, I always ask my guests, what's the most important thing you've been able to take from the world since the pandemic started?
Just enjoy family while they're here. You can't take time with someone for granted. I know COVID, a lot of parents were, kind of sick. They had to spend a lot of time with their kids. But I enjoy spending more time with, my family and stuff like that. So it was like Walking Dead, it was like a trip going to the supermarket and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool.
I got you. I remember it was so bad after a while. I was like happy to get up and go to the store. It's like, yeah, we out of something. I'll go get it, So
Yeah. Well, with COVID, shit, probably went shopping like 4 times a week. The food went quick. All you did was like watch TV and eat. That's it.
yeah. I remember at one point I couldn't find grits. I'm like, how did I not find grits?
Yeah, one time, like pasta sauce was like you couldn't find it anywhere. Canned foods like Spam and stuff that usually people don't want is like selling for the high.
Yeah, I remember that. Man. All right, we'll just jump right in. Quarter one is sneaker origins. We talk about kind of the beginnings. What was your first kind of sneaker moment or sneaker memory?
Well, I was kind of a sneakerhead since little. My dad's family, a lot of them were, being from New York, there was a lot of heavy drug dealers here. So you will always dress fly, especially being from Harlem. So that was kind of like you were born into that dressing fly, the flyest cars and all that stuff. So I had kicks, and I remember looking at like pictures when I was a little kid. So I had like Tonics, I had Cortez, and I hate Cortez, but I had them on feet. I had Bo Jacksons. So I had a variety of sneakers, but I didn't really get into it, like start collecting until like fourth grade. My brother was a basketball player, so when he'll go to work, I'll sneak in his room, take his shoes, and wear it to school because he had all the fly classic stuff. So from there, that's when I started like saving up and getting like 30 pairs. So young age, I already had like 30 pairs. So collecting was kind of built into me. And, you know, as a kid, you collect baseball cards and stuff like that. So that collector's mentality, it kind of starts with you at a young age, Pokemon cards and stuff like that. So it kind of moved into sneakers, which is a whole nother ball game.
Sure. Okay. All right. Now, well, I gotta ask, you know, because everybody has their preferences. How come it's no love for the Cortez?
It's not my style. Not my style. I think it's more of a West Coast shoe as well. I know a lot of people on the West Coast, they love that shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's not my style.
Got you.
I was more like shell toe Adidas. Every color, you know, the white pairs with the different color stripes, like that was the thing. Baby blue, the red pair, the classic black and white, like that was my thing. Simple colors, but bright that stand out, and you could match with a bunch of fits, and they look cool. But the Cortez just nah.
I got you.
I always been a Nike guy from the jump. I you know dabbled in Adidas, but since like 2006, I haven't had a pair of Adidas in my collection. It's all been Nike.
Since 06.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they got all my favorite players. You got Kobe, you got Griffey, you got Barkley, like all the good guys. The Air Max 1, like the iconic Air Max 90s, 95s is one of my favorite silhouettes. They're all with Nike, so I can't complain. Even though it's one brand, it has like a variety within. So it has all my favorite silhouettes, so really don't have to venture off too much into other brands.
Gotcha.
Which saves you money anyway, and saves you space.
Yeah. I wish I would have. You know, I was telling somebody the other day. I'm like, you know, this would be a lot easier if I was just in the Jordans or just in one thing. So I feel it. Now, what would you say out of all those shoes from that era was the kind of the shoe after those initial memories that kind of cemented everything? Like, all right, I'm a sneaker person. Like, was there one?
Air Max 95s.
Okay.
Air Max 95s had like a golden era, just killing it with back-to-back theme releases. You had the World Cup Air Max 95s. You had the Safari 95. You had the neons. They were inspiring other Nike silhouettes to, you know, kind of copy those colors. But just the crazy themes they did, like the Human Torch and stuff like that, was just like golden age. Air Max 95 is like the silhouette for Harlem. Everybody was rocking Jordans and all that stuff, but everyone had a pair of Air Max 95s, and they just look cool. And they just had a wave where they did the one pack only series with the 360 bubbles. They were killing it. And we have all the boutiques right here, literally like 2 blocks away from me. So we didn't have to go far to go shopping. We had Goliath, Tom D's, like Foot Lockers right there. We have Mr. G sneakers. We had Pegasus until they closed down. Jim Jones, Fat Joe, all those rappers were around this area just buying. All the drug dealers were buying all the fly clothes. So
we're kind of talking like mid 2000s, like 05, 06, 07, kind of around then.
Yep.
Yeah, because I still my Mexicos, my Human Torches are still like wearable.
I found a dead stock pair on StockX, and I put a bid because I sold my pair once they started to yellow, my original pair, and I sold it. Then I saw someone had a brand new pair on StockX, so I put a low bid, $200. I didn't expect him to accept it because they're going for like $600 on eBay. 20 minutes later, he accepted it. I got them. They fresh.
Nice.
Same thing with the Miami 95s. You don't see those often. I got those too. Brand new dead stock.
Yeah, 2008. Man.
Super steel.
Yeah.
I got it for like $230.
Oof.
Hey, I was
like
killing it during COVID. I was looking for the old gems that I had before. was killing it during COVID. Everybody was like trying to save their money. I was like buying crazy shoes.
Yeah. I've never worn those Miami Vice 95s and not got a compliment.
Yeah.
So I feel
that started like the South Beach wave. Like once that colorway dropped, like they started to kind of copy that and put it on a bunch of silhouettes.
yeah, a lot of people don't know that was like 2-3 years before the LeBron, you know. So I think those came out in 07 or 08.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't realize that LeBron is inspired. Like his favorite silhouettes is like the Air Max 95. That's why he has a lot of kind of like PEs with that silhouette.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now that was to me, that mid to late 2000s was a great time for Forces and Air Max 95s. Yeah. So I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah, I think that those are times we're not going to get back, because you didn't have to camp out. You didn't have to like wait in line and stuff. Like you would just go in the store, pick it out. And I used to get them early. The boutiques, you know, will sell them early. You pay a little extra, but nothing too crazy. And you'll have them a couple of months before everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, were you ever on Nike Talk or InStyle Shoes back in those days?
Nike Talk, I was there. I really didn't even know what the internet was. Back then, we used to be outside. So outside was like hanging out with everybody. I wasn't really on the internet. Even like Instagram, I waited like 2 years after Instagram came out to actually join.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got you. Oh, man. Okay. So when you were buying these shoes, you know, back in, you know, the mid 2000s, and you being, you know, from the city, what brands gravitated towards you as far as clothing to go with said sneakers?
Everything that was in the style in Harlem, and you have to pick and choose what you're going to invest your money in. At a young age, you learn, unless your parents are spoiling you. But I worked since 14, so I was buying my own stuff. So I look at trends and I look at brands, which ones have longevity. Like Maury's, they were hot. People, instead of buying the Prada Sport Cups, everybody wanted Maury's. And that lasted like 3 months in Harlem, the wave. So everybody spending $600-$800 for those shoes. That trend lasted it was very short. So they lost their money, because now you're getting laughed at for rocking those. That was like 3 months ago trend. But like Pele was killing it with those with the jackets with the rhinestones. You know, Dipset was a big influence in Harlem. So we went with the rock and roll style, the Ed Hardys, Christian Audigier, True Religions, Antique Jeans, Rocket Republics. That was kind of the wave I was in.
Okay. It's a pretty good wave.
Yep.
Pretty good wave.
Very expensive, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then before that was, you know, Mecca, Nietzsche, Rockaware, Sean John. So that was kind of the wave before that. Remember the NBA logos all over the place? That was a big thing with the jeans and all that. Everybody looking like a walking billboard. What else?
Remember that?
All crazy customs of the Air Force Ones with like the Gucci print and stuff, kind of mimicking Dapper Dan, stuff like that. It kind of varied from like month to month, and then what had longevity.
Got you.
Then kind of after True Religions died, I just stopped buying those type of expensive jeans, because then they went kind of too girly with the like red robins and stuff, and the monkey jeans with kind of those jewels on the back pocket and stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll skip that.
Yeah, I didn't go cap. I had a pair of Robins in the cut. My wife used to make fun of me for having them. It's like, what? You know, and
yeah.
I'm like, it was a time, you know.
Yeah. And the belts with the bottle caps.
Yeah.
That was a weapon right there. Yeah. They stopped making you wear those to school. That was like 20 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the one belt, it had like a seat belt, like connector.
Yeah.
So I remember that.
And then you had the name earrings and all that good stuff. Yeah, those are times you don't get back.
I mean,
that was some good times.
They'll never know.
Yeah.
Oh man. So with the Air Max 95 being one of your favorite silhouettes, then does it still remain so today?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I just wish they went back to the essence of it, what made it so good. But you know, they have like 4,000 different colorways now. It's like they just keep pumping them out. I know it's a top seller, but back in the 2000s, you know, it was like once every 3 weeks or something, you'll get a new colorway, but they put effort into it. And it's like now they're just pumping out too much crap and not putting the effort into the shoes. And the ones that are actually putting effort are the overseas boutiques, like Size
Yep.
and them. They're doing collabs, and they're putting the history of what made Air Max 95s dope on their end. So a lot of the overseas stuff is the good stuff.
I agree. I guess the thing that bothers me the most about the 95 is that I feel like Nike, a lot of times, everybody knows the neon is the first color,
Yep.
but where are the comets? Where are the slates?
Yep.
Where are the emeralds? Where are like the other OGs? They brought back the grape, but they put like a little bit of snake on it a few years ago.
Yeah.
They brought back the comet, but they changed the bottom and they added some, it wasn't right. So I need them to do that.
Yeah. The only time they really like did a good job was 2010. You remember they did the mandarins.
Mm-hmm.
What was it, like the photo blue? Then they came out with like the sharp blue. They had like all the different dope OG color schemes. I picked up all of them.
Yeah.
And now those things are super rare. You don't even see them on the market no more.
Yeah. Like a lot of those, what they used to call them, Air Max 95 SCs back in the late 90s, the first retro of them. They did bring a lot of those back in 10 and 11. I guess my only gripe with that series, because it was good, the quality was just kind of, it was okay on some of the pairs. Like, I had a pair of freshwater 95s.
Oh, that was one of my favorites too.
No, but they crumbled on me during the pandemic, and I'm like, these are barely 2 years old. How is this happening?
Oh, damn.
I didn't wear them that much.
Yeah.
I've got older 95s. Like, I could still wear my Human Torches, and they're 3 years older than them. So I guess it's the luck of the draw per shoe. But, but yeah, I need them to focus more on the other OGs instead of just the neon.
Yeah, I think we're going to see, because the 25th anniversary, they did a decent job. It didn't, it's like nobody cared about the anniversary except overseas, Size with the collab. Other than that, wasn't that many dope Air Max 95s dropping. So hopefully for like the 30th anniversary, they go back in the vault and bring out some of the dope stuff, like maybe a retro the stash.
Yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah.
That blue, it's just
or the monsters, or like
that's a grail.
Rejuvenation pack. Like bring those type of packs back. And I love back in the day too. Like you'll get an Air Max 95, then you'll get a 97. You'll get like a 90 in the same color scheme too. So even if you had a favorite silhouette over the other, you had that option to pick up that colorway.
Yeah.
And spend more money, because I used to pick up like all three of the set.
I remember they used to do that. I remember, at least because I'm from Cleveland. I live in North Carolina now, but Finish Line used to always get that stuff where, like, when the Silver Bullets came out in 17, it was a 95.
Yeah.
It was a tuned Air, and it was like maybe some bullshit like an Air Max LTD or some budget Air Max in that same color. But no, you're right. I'm enjoying this, man. I mean, it's good to talk to people who know what they talk about.
Yeah, and I want to see Tuxedos retro.
Yeah. I still got the Bo Jacksons, but I never had the 95.
Yeah. Those are great colorways that they haven't even tried to retro and bring them back.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to kind of soul swap them, because most of the people that could soul swap really good, they're in Europe.
Yeah.
So you got to pay an arm and a leg just to send it to them. And then for them to find like a soul partner and then send it right back to you, and then custom fees and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pricey, but so you got to pick the right gem, which shoe you want to sacrifice to bring back a grail that you're probably never going to see again.
Yeah. Yeah, that monster from 2001 or 2 is something I've always wanted, but I only know what it is because of Nike Talk, but you know, I've never had a chance to get a pair.
Yeah. And you don't see them on the aftermarket either. Even if they crumbled, you just don't see them.
No. Now, is there an Air Max 95 that's grail level for you?
I would say something like the Stash. What else? The Soul Collectors I got, so they're not that one out.
You got the Soul Collector Cowboys over there?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So I recently picked them up for a great price for what they're going for. Like on eBay, they're like $600 to $1,000. Pay way less than that. One of the homies was like, "Yo, I got a pair. Do you want it?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I'll take it." And it's still wearable. Like it's still good quality. There's no damage on the leather or nothing like that. So
Yeah, those and those yellow and orange 2K5s are like the two soul collector shoes I always wanted.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I want the dunks too, but yeah, people want like $4,000 to $6,000, and it says dead stock. But when you look at the pairs, they kind of have like some damage to the suede and stuff. So
Gotcha.
I'll just wait for the hype to kind of die down or the economy to get really bad, and then I'll strike.
Yeah. Well, EW1 Kicks asked, is there what two pair of Air Maxes that you don't have do you plan on getting in the near future?
Uh, there's a Biotech Air Max 1 that I'm looking at. It needs to be so swapped, and it needs to be painted and probably like fix the creases and stuff. But it's a shoe that probably won't retro anytime soon. It's 20 years old. So I might take the risk of buying it and then sending it to Europe, have them fix it up. What else am I looking at? I still need two other pieces to the DLX pack 3.0. So I need the leopard and I need the giraffe.
Okay.
Every time I'm about to buy them, another like a rarer Air Max 1 pops up, so I end up buying that.
Yeah, no, those go for a decent amount to not be. They're only a couple years old, but they
Yeah.
go. Gosh.
That's the same thing with I recently picked up the Air Max 95 1.0
Greedy.
for a stupid price. Stupid price what they call for. And I remember being in Goliath when they first came out, and I was making fun of it. I'm like, I got to get a haircut and I got to give my shoe a haircut. Because, that's the first time we've really seen like crazy pony hair on the shoe.
Yeah.
And I waited too long to go back to buy it, and it went on sale and it sold out.
Yeah. I like the 1.0 better than the 2.0 just because I like the way the white looks over the.
Yeah. The animal print looks a little bit better.
But it's like it's from 2007. Do I want to go through like what you're saying with the swapping and hoping that it may,
because with those you got that plate underneath, so you got to find someone that really knows how to mess with 95s and put it correctly. Like an Air Max 1 is pretty easy to put back together, but that has like that plate. It's like putting a foam posit together where the shank plate you got to put back on. You got to make sure it's good, or like a Kobe with the shank plates.
Yeah.
So you got to find someone that can really do that good and find the correct sizing, because the different years of the models, sometimes it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. So you got to find someone that has the experience of putting those shoes already in place.
Yeah, the only shoe that was an Air Max I ever thought about swapping, just because it's one of my biggest regrets because I could have had them for next to nothing, was the Kashima 97. I could find a 95 easy, but finding a wearable Kashima 97 and then the bubble isn't going to be green, it's kind of like, is it even worth it?
Yeah. The good thing is, because they make so many 95s, you might find a pair with very close to that Air unit color, and then you could probably swap it out.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any pairs in my size recently. I saw them a couple, probably like last year. I seen like 2 or 3 pairs, probably for like 600, 700. Right now, there's none in my size.
Yeah. Now, what size do you wear?
10 and a half, 11. But Air Max 97s, I need a size 11 because they kind of run. They're too narrow.
No, I'm with you. Like I'm 11 through 12 myself, so I'm with you.
And size 12 in Air Maxes is hard to find.
Yes, say that again for the people in the back.
It's a lot of very hard to find.
Settle for the 11, it'd just be a little snug, or 11 and a half. So, but okay, we'll move ahead a little bit. Now, I know you like trainers and you like Nike basketball. Do you have a favorite Nike basketball line? I mean, aside from Jordan?
Penny, foam posits. I think Penny, hands down, is the only guy when it comes to like signature shoes that can compete with Jordan. The dude didn't have a long career. He was hurt, and his shoes can sell just as fast as a Jordan pair. Look at the Penny 1, Penny 2s. Foams were crazy prices.
Oh no, man. Now look,
I know you want LeBron, right?
Nah, it ain't even that. And this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, and I have a lot of them. I don't know, man.
You gotta look at his hybrids. His hybrids are more successful than Jordan's hybrids.
All right, but I don't know. The Penny 1 and 2 and the foam posit are really the only great shoes I feel like he's worn that are his.
You
Three,
got
I love the three,
yeah,
but
I like all of them. Until you get to kind of the after the three.
the three and
The
the
three
four.
is a weird looking shoe, but they have some nice colorways. It reminds you like old school basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it's the penny three is weird because it's the only shoe where I would prefer the white colorway over the black.
Yeah.
And I wear the white one more than I wear the black one.
Yeah.
Like, if that little wave on the side would have been blue on the black ones, I probably would feel different about them. But I don't know. I mean, the other thing
like
is,
the rookies. I love the rookies.
yeah, see,
The half
I'm just
cents.
like, if you could do that, just bring back the Air Go. It looks like the Air Go with the faux pocket. Just bring that back again.
And then you got the half cents, one of the best hybrids ever.
I'll give that to the half cent.
And then they did the right colors. They didn't overkill it. They put a right amount of half cents out there. It wasn't like what was it, the little penny? No, the penny 5. They just dumped like every kind of theme on it. Like the first few colorways were dope. I love the penny 5. I had the Red Eagles and I had the Orlando colorway. Those two were the best for me.
I never got to get the Orlando colorway. That shoe
I got those early.
Flipped through my fingers.
The Red Eagles were very hard for it. I didn't know how limited it was, and I got them early. And I only paid like $220, I think. I forgot what was retail on them.
It was something. It was. They were more than the other pairs. I do remember that. The store I was working in at the time, they were a little more because of the limited. But I do feel like the penny 5 could have came out in '99 or 2000. Like it kind of goes with the succession of the line.
Yeah.
So I will say that. But I don't know. It's sort of like it's just not enough of them. And what I was gonna say was sort of like Pippen and Barkley. There are a lot of shoes that are his, but they're not really his.
Yeah.
Like I love the Air Up. The retro of it was garbage, but I love the Air Up, the Ergo LWP, the Flight One.
Yeah.
He wore the Lambaste, which is basically a low top Ergo. But I don't know. And again, his career got cut short because of the injuries.
Yeah.
Sort of like Grant Hill, but I don't know if I could. And this is because I'm from Cleveland, but I think LeBron might have passed Penny. That's just me.
I think LeBron, he could have been there, but I think the later silhouettes, they got too much more into performance. Like the 7 and the 8, you could wear them on the court, but you could also, like, they look dope on feet, like out the court. Like the 4, like that was, mimicking the foam posit, and it was like a space boot. I remember rocking it and everyone laughing at me in front of my building.
Really?
Like, what the hell you have on your feet? Because, it was a new silhouette, something new that it was kind of bulky. It looked like a space boot, but it was mostly, made for like basketball. I didn't see how you could really rock it for casual wear. I tried it, but just didn't work.
I'm one of the weirdos that do that. I love the 4 because it looked like the Penny 2 and the foam posit were like mashed together.
Yeah.
Because of the way.
And they have some great colorways.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm gonna say I probably would put Barkley ahead of Penny too.
No, Barkley got some crazy stuff.
But
and I can say one good thing about LeBron is his shoes are comfortable.
Yeah.
They are comfortable.
The only silhouette after the 10, I feel like that gets love from the masses is maybe the 15 because of the LeBron watch and the induction of that.
Mm-hmm.
Making the shoes look like the other shoes, but there are a lot of LeBron shoes that are very technical.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think that nobody will even come close to Jordan with. KD got 15.6, Kobe got up to 11.
Yeah.
I don't count the ADs. He didn't wear any of those.
Yeah.
But, it's tough. I mean, Griffey had 9 signatures.
Yeah, and the ones everybody likes is the ones. I forgot what the other one is that everyone likes. That it looks like the ones, but it has the carbon fiber. What was that? The 2?
Yeah, I think it was just because they've only really retroed the 1, the 2, and the 4, and the 6.
I think it's the 2 that's like the second favorite silhouette. Because then they did with the 3 with the Air Max bottoms and stuff.
Yeah, the Air Max Junior
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
360 bottom.
yeah. I don't think nobody liked those.
I mean, I'll say this. I was working for this now they just been bought out by DTLR, but this place is called Villa.
Yeah,
We were in the hood. I was selling them things. Like people were buying. This is 2010, 2011, so it's in the middle of the Griffey hype. But I was selling those things in the hood. But I think beyond the hood, like other audiences was like,
yeah,
nah, I don't want this.
yeah.
So, because we just had the playoff 13 come out. I know when it came out in 2011, those and them Cincinnati Red Griffey ones came out on the same day. Them Griffey ones killed in playoffs. Nobody even, they were like an afterthought. So
yeah. I tell people this all the time when the Black Friday, it was 2012 with the Bread Fours and the Pearlized Pinks.
mm-hmm.
Bread Fours, they sat. Nobody wanted those. Pearlized Pinks, foam posits, that's what everybody wanted. Back then, like the Kobe's, even Blake Griffin with the Hyper Dunks.
Yeah.
LeBron and the KDs, those were selling out more than like Jordans. Jordans would just sit.
Thank you. See, it's always a hot take because I remember I made a status in the shoe game, reposted it, but I'm like, other than the Christmas 11 from 2010 probably until 2015, Nike basketball was more important and more popular than Jordan.
Yeah.
You can
like eggplant foam posits dropped that had a longer line than any release I ever seen. Galaxy foams, even the Blake Griffin with the that earthquake kind of thing. Those sold out. The Mellows 7s when he had the Puerto Rico, the Syracuse. I had the whole pack. People were lined up for that.
People were buying KD5s over Jordans and KD4s, LeBron
KD4s were lines. People were waiting. I was telling my Beast Coast members that people were waiting like 2 weeks for the KD4 Nerf.
Mm-hmm.
And House of Hoops, they were waiting outside with tents. Even for the weathermans, they were waiting outside for days.
Yeah.
But $95 shoe.
Yeah, they don't know because a lot of those retros, if it wasn't an 11,
nobody wanted. The Concorde was one of the biggest Jordan 11 lines I've seen, and they had 1,000 pairs in the back, and people were still fighting over the pair. Like you were gonna get your pair regardless. That's when they did the 12 a.m. release.
Yeah,
and because all the violence, they end up switching it to like early in the morning.
Yeah, because I remember the Black Cement 3 came out like a month before for Black Friday. That was a midnight release. And like you said, everything else was 8 a.m. after that.
Yeah. Even the Miami Vices, people were waiting in line for the Elites, the LeBrons. I had to camp out like a whole day for that.
Yeah, I wonder if Nike could ever get back there.
I think they're trying to. I think they're trying to bring back the nostalgia. Because you see how fast, like, the Barclays, when they first dropped the black and purple pair, that thing skyrocketed in the resale market. And now they're really putting out the full stock now later this year. I think those will still go for a good amount of money.
What's crazy about those is that the 2015 pair and 20 pair are identical.
Yeah.
Like, they're not any different at all. Yeah. And you can get a pair from 15 for a dead stock pair for maybe $300, dead stock. But that 20 pair is like $900 dead stock. Makes no sense.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Orlando Penny 1.
Yeah. And I passed on it. I could have had it for, I think they were charging me $160 to get it early. I'm like, I'll pick it up later. And then boom, resale's high on them. I'm like,
yeah.
Because I like the Orlando colorway and I like the varsity red one. Those two right there are my favorites. Yeah. And if they retro the Knicks colorway, that's another dope one.
2005. I remember that. Yeah.
So that's a pair we need to see come back. I remember the House of Hoops Electro line pair that glowed in the dark. A lot of people didn't know it glowed in the dark. I did my YouTube review, and it's just a back piece leather that glows out of the whole shoe.
Yeah.
That shoe is fire. You don't see those very often. That's when House of Hoops was having some of the best like drops, crazy exclusives.
Yeah, and it's crazy because House of Hoops was such a good idea.
Yep.
But it's almost pointless now since they don't really do that kind of stuff, and you can't go in and see a random PE for David West or for Carlos Boozer.
Or you walk in on 125th and KD is there. And you didn't even know. Melo was there and they giving talks and stuff like that and just signing.
Amari did that too.
Yeah. They were always there.
Yeah.
You will always see a big line there, and people ask, "Oh, you there for shoes?" Nah, it's basketball players in there.
Yeah.
I
Speaking of
recently
which,
went in there before I guess they were redoing the store again, or
mm,
they actually closed it down, I think. And I asked the employee if they had this shoe. He didn't even know what I was talking about. So the knowledge, it just isn't there. When you know more than an employee, is like you don't even feel excited to go into the store.
yeah, nah. Um, Speaking of Amari, one of the underrated shoes from the era we're talking about that I feel like should get more love is the Hyperposit.
Oh, I love those.
Like, I have a theory. Some people agree, some people don't. I really feel like the Hyperposit was supposed to be the LeBron 10, and it was just too heavy.
Mm.
Because if you look at all the colorways that came out, they were all like LeBron-like colors.
Yeah, I remember a rumor going around about that.
You
And the
know?
funny thing is, basketball players love the Hyperposit.
Mm-hmm.
There's a YouTube video, the guy that his whole job is to just organize the shoes in the locker room. And they have like these big like closets that they move around. And he's like, this one player has like crazy Hyperposit colorways. He gets so many that he has like a whole like area just for his stuff. And it wasn't PJ Tucker. He had all these crazy sample Hyperposits that never dropped. And Bosch loved the Hyperposit too.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of crazy colorways. My favorite was the Statue of Liberty, and I had the Amari pair as well. Those two were nice. I was looking for the Battlegrounds, but those are hard to find in my size.
I'm looking for the BHM of that, but it only pops up ever so often too.
Yeah. You got to wait for like a collector to like, I'm getting rid of these now. Take it.
The Area 72 ones were nice too, but there's so many fake ones out there. Those now it's kind of like, do I really want to?
Yeah. The Christmas one. What was it? The Rondo P.
Mm-hmm.
Those were nice.
Yeah.
And Amari actually has a lot of Barclays.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I see a bunch of them on eBay for like $600-700, but they're like they're your size 12.
Mm-hmm.
They have the white, gray, and orange pair, and then they have the black and purple Barclays as well, with his stat embroidered on the side.
Now, how did you feel about his? Because he only had two, but how did you feel about his signatures?
I don't like Amari. And the reason I don't like him is because he messed up the Knicks from going deep in the playoffs doing stupid shit. And he made my boy Melo look bad. Punching a fire extinguisher, dunking, doing a crazy dunk during practice and mess up his back. So I didn't really like his signature. I like the Hyperposit. He has a couple of Hirachis as well. So those are nice, but his actual signature I wasn't kind of a fan of.
Yeah, that's that one when he was still on the Suns, the white, black, and purple, and then they had a black and orange one. And then they had one after the Stat 2, like the 360 bottom. Yeah. They were nice, but it's just they're like wear risk now. So I'm like, do I really
you know who you remember when the Air Max 360 came out?
What
was it? I think it was the Air Max 360. They did like a basketball version or something like that. It was a silhouette with like a 360 bottom for basketball. Yeah. Smush Parker used to always wear it.
Really?
And I used to work with him because he used to be in our tournament, Hoops in the Sun in Orchard Beach. And he will wear those things and be dropping like 40 points.
I never seen
doing crazy dunks.
Wow.
He'd be doing
heavy shoe. I'm surprised he was wearing that.
So he'd be doing crazy dunks.
Yeah, the Grip Reaper. Oh, man. I used to love him street ball, but I hated him on the Lakers because I'm a Lakers fan. Yeah, so I was like, dude.
Yeah, Ron Artest is down to earth. Ron Artest came a bunch of times.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody used to rock heat on their feet, chilling on the beach. Yeah. I had my Galaxies when I used to still work for them, that just killing it. Feet were hot, but it was still killing
it. Yeah. Now let's move on to trainers. Because I feel like during the Nike basketball golden, it was still a trainer renaissance at that time too. Do you have a favorite? I have a favorite trainer, but it's probably never going to get retroed. But do you have a favorite training silhouette?
I would say the Bo Jackson.
Okay. Trainer SC.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one that, regardless how many times they retro, like brings you back to those golden summers in like New York. Like you had to have that classic Auburn colorway. And you like had it through your whole lifetime, and your parents wore it too.
Yeah.
So I think that's a shoe like everybody loved. Like I had the all white pair, and then you kind of get pissed off. Like after 2 years, they turn yellow. That's when you didn't know that having the paper inside the box like kind of oxidized your shoes a little faster and rubbed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say like the Hirachis as well.
Love for the Hirachi trainer. I appreciate that. Not a
I
lot of
love
people love
Hirachis. There was a pair that they have in retro, and I had it in junior high school. It was the white, blue, and a little hint of gray.
Ooh, I remember that.
I
remember that.
I used to wear that almost every day to school. That was like one of my favorite colors. I'm hoping that when they go back to like old school showing love to Hirachis, that they'll actually do a Puerto Rico Hirachi, because they did a Dominican Hirachi. They should do a Puerto Rico one. I would like to see that come out instead of Air Forces and stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember that trainer Hirachi you're talking about, because it was like 02 or 03, kind of around that time.
And it never came back out again. And it was like one of the more popular colors.
I remember that. One of my boys had that. I would like to see the black and gray or black and light, funny blue, whichever. I need that black one again. Like my pair's from 02, and again, I don't know how much longer I have with them. So,
it looks like they showing love to the Hirachis, and we might get some old stuff back. So,
yeah. Usually when they retro the flight Hirachi, usually the trainer Hirachi isn't too far behind.
Yeah, I love the flight. I had the white, red, black, and gray pair.
Like a Pippin PE.
Yeah, so that was one of my go-tos as well. And I think that at that time, that's when everybody baggy jeans was still in, and you used to tie your baggy jeans with the shoestrings. That shit looks so stupid now. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, my favorite trainer is from '97. It'll probably never come back, but it was for Roy Jones and Jerry Rice. It's called the Air Ubiquitous. It's like black and lime green.
I gotta see a picture.
Like when Foot Action was still their own company before Foot Locker bought them, they retroed it twice, but it was just like all white and white navy. It wasn't the OG.
Yeah, it wasn't the original color. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
They try to bring out like some new colors, and it doesn't do well, and then they like put the silhouette to the side. It's the same thing what happened with foam posits. They saw how successful the Galaxy was with the print, and then they just went kind of crazy, and they just killed it where people don't care, and they kept like pumping the market. I remember foam posits were popular because you had to wait like 6 months to get a new colorway.
Yeah.
It wasn't every other week that a foam posit was coming out. So you cherish that pair until the next one comes out. So it was like 2 drops a year, sometimes even 1. That's what made it dope. And they went with solid colors. Like the eggplant is now like a classic colorway. The coppers. Like it's crazy how you could make something so simple be like so iconic.
Now, is there a foam posit out there that you're looking for currently, or do you have all the ones you want?
I have a lot of the ones I want. I got my Galaxy back. I sold my pair when I retired. I sold everything. But I got that one back. The Carolina UNC Pros. That's a pair that I want back. That the person I sold my pair to, he still has it. No sole separation. It has in yellow. Like the outsole has in yellow. Obviously, the Nike Air on the tag has yellow. But like the netting was kept in good, cold condition where it didn't get messed up. But that Carolina Pro, I should have never sold it. And I only sold it to him for like $300 because he was one of my subscribers.
Yeah. I want to say
every time he wears it, he tags me on Twitter. He wears it once a year. And he always tags me.
I think those were Foot Action exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're from like 02.
Yeah, 03.
Okay. Because I remember for a while there, phones were only at Foot Action, I feel like, for a little while. At least.
I used to see people trash that pair because, it's a white outsole. They'll use it to play ball, all scuffed up.
It was a great pair. I remember they had a silver and black pair, the Ben Gordon.
Yeah, I got those. Yep, the silver Pros. I love Pros over ones.
Really?
Yep.
I respect that.
I think the Pros, like the 97s to 2002, 2003, they had like the best Pros. The best colorways better over the Foamposite 1.
Okay.
Like Like you got Dr. Dooms, you got the Pearls, you got the Silver Pros, you got the Royal Pros, you got the Red Pros, the All Black Pros, you got the Pros with the semi-translucent kind of bottom, you got the Volts. They had some crazy stuff.
I'm looking for. I'm not sure if I find it, but they had a pair that was black, bold swoosh, that were Foot Action exclusive. Every now and then I'll see them online, but people be wanting like 1,000,
Yeah,
850. Like, come on, man.
yeah, yeah. The only good thing about foams is they're tanks.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're worth the high retail because they'll outlast your shoes, and you don't have to like sew, find a donor. All you have to do is just like re-glue them. That's it. The only thing that may happen, and it's how you take care of them, the carbon fiber, might crack. That's about it. You just glue it back together, you're good to go. These things are literally tanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're at the halfway point of the show. So now I usually do, either ors. And with your love for Nike basketball, love for trainers, and just, the era that we're from, this will be fun. So I'm going to ask you, with trainers, you going with all time, you going with Griffey or Dion?
I'm gonna have to go with what I like better. I'm going with Griffey.
Okay.
And it's influenced by one of my favorite Air Max 1s. So, and I love the emerald color, which people kind of call it the freshwater, but the emerald, the black with the emerald, I like that better over the OG. That's my favorite colorway.
Wow. Okay. All right. I know the Trainer SC is your favorite trainer, so we're gonna bypass that. But if you had to choose between the Air Trainer 1 and the Air Trainer 3, where are you going?
I'll say the 1.
Okay. Yeah, I would probably pick the 3.
3?
1 is great though.
Yeah.
All right.
And what's a shoe? Off to the topic, Nike Veers.
Okay.
I need Nike to retro the damn black and white pair and stop playing around. That's a hard shoe. And I know they retro there like 2013 or something like that.
Yeah, but that strap was all pearlized. It wasn't even white like the 03 retro. Because I had those, but I just have them because of what they are. Yeah. My 03 pair crumbled.
Yeah, mine's I beat the crap out of that the new buckle like ripped off. That was one of my favorite pairs. But they need to retro that. Because I need them. I can't find them nowhere.
Yeah.
They're hard.
Usually, if I find a pair from 13, it's always either the white and red pair or the white and blue pair. But even that white and blue pair doesn't look like the pair Bruce Smith wore. Like the blue is it's too royal. It's not Navy, so I don't know why they did that. I'll always find Volt. I always find like one of those bullshit colors.
Yep, for like
man, come on.
$50 that nobody wants.
Yeah. The Mission too. They could redo the Mission again too. They could bring that back.
Yeah. I seen PR's done a couple of battles and he's shown them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cause even with that, like I'll find the Oregon Duck and I'll find the GR black and Volt, but trying to find the black one is the one I need. I have the white and red and the white and blue, but that black one is just
you're gonna have to try to find one of those secret collectors that are not on social media that has a whole stack of stuff. Because a lot of people don't even think to put those things on eBay. They probably think that people, just want hype.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite trainers. You hip to the Air Trainer Max 96 with the bulldog on the bottom?
Some colors, not all of them.
And they got the Air Max 95 on the tongue, the logo, like that white, navy, and yellow, and the black and navy with the yellow, like two of my favorites.
Yeah, I think we'll see some more of the non-popular Air Maxes kind of come back out. A pair that I want to come back out is the, TL 2.0s. You probably remember those because they came out with I think it was like Foot Locker and Foot Action exclusive colors.
Yeah.
but they did like the OG schemes. Like I want those type of days to come back, and that's when shocks were big too.
Mm-hmm.
So those were good days.
I will say it's been a while. Nike will bring out the Shocks R4 every now and then, but
That's a Harlem staple. That R4, you will see that on every corner.
really,
Yeah,
the white color too.
all colors.
Okay.
Especially there was well, I think there was like a USA color. It was like silver, red, and navy blue.
Yeah.
That was a popular one over here.
Okay.
But shocks were big over here.
Okay. Okay. Now, with you being from Harlem, I know you've got to have a decent amount of Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Air Force One?
I would say the Questlove. I got the Mesquite.
Oh, you
A lot
got
of
the
the-
game with the paint? Oh,
Yeah.
man, I've been seeing those in forever.
Actually, so I bought it from a buyer on eBay, and he had it as brand new, but you know the age makes it kind of look used.
Mm-hmm.
So they sent it to eBay, and they said like they didn't pass. So I messaged him, and he dropped the price lower. I was like, I'll take them.
Yeah.
And right now, there's one pair in my size for like $3 something, but I pay like $180 for mine.
Oh, that's love there.
Yeah.
Then you said you got the Questloves too. Whew.
Yeah, that was a steal. That should going for like $1,000 if you could find it, and I paid $400.
You got the Busy P?
No, I've been looking for it, but a lot of the pairs kind of beat up. The midsoles like ripped off. I looked at the Live Strong one. I could get that one, but just doesn't hit like the original one. I got the Year of the Rabbits. An underrated one is the Liberty Air Force ones with the temperature change.
I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that one.
Yeah, let me see. He's right here.
Oh, okay.
It was like one of the first shoes with the.
Yeah, I remember those. Oof. I've seen those in a minute.
Yeah, and they're not going for that much anyway. See, there you go.
Now, yeah, thank you. I haven't seen those since the early 2000s.
Yeah, look how clean it is. No sole separation either.
Oof.
Only 180.
Wow. Wow. All right. Now, again, with you being a Harlem guy, high, mid, or low?
No, lows.
All lows?
I don't like high shoes.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't like mids. Like I remember when back to school used to happen, all the kids' parents would get them like a black pair of Air Force Ones and a white pair.
Mm-hmm.
I hated white ups.
Okay.
I didn't want to get black ups. I wanted different stuff. Everybody had the same stuff. That was their kind of school uniform. I didn't want that. So I would get like Bo Jackson's all white. I would get shell toes. But I stood away for the Air Force Ones because it's a shoe that creases. And you can only wear that shoe like one time. And your parents expect you to wear that for the whole year.
Yeah.
So I only had 2 white ups in my whole life. And my ex-girlfriends are the ones that actually bought it. So I wore it one time and threw it out. I wasn't spending my money on that crap.
All right. You got any shades in the cut?
No, I did. And that's a shoe that made me want to sell a lot of my patent leather older pairs. Mm-hmm. So I had the She Lows, the piston colorway, the one that's blue at the toe.
The blue jay, yeah.
And I put it on, and my fiance is looking at my feet. She said, "Why your shoes got white stuff on it?" And it was like the dried glue just popped out, sole separation.
Oof.
It just broke my heart. So now I don't even want to wear my older patent leather pairs. I'm like, I'm gonna just sell them before that. That was like the first time that's ever happened to me.
That has me concerned.
And it looked good. Like, you know, you could push it in. You won't see no sole separation. As soon as I put them on feet, just fell apart. And, you know, the patent leather wasn't like, it's like a film. So it's not like a Jordan 11 where it has that thick patent leather that you could kind of put it back.
Yeah.
This is like a film that kind of rolls up. So you couldn't save it. It hurt my heart. And I was like, no more. And that's why I passed on the undefeated Air Force One too.
Yeah. Because that Blue Jay, Rashid, it's only from 06.
Yep.
It's not like it's crazy old. Like,
yeah.
It's not even a Portland Air Force, because I got
Yeah.
the high top black and white ones with the white sheet on it. They're from like '02, but damn, you got me worried now. I gotta go look. I gotta go look at those pairs.
Yeah, the leather pairs of the Rashids, they'll last.
Mm-hmm.
So you good. But like the patent leather, I don't know if this. I don't know. I bought it from the guy. It was good, but I guess he had it like somewhere where it was dry and maybe hot because it looked good. But when you put it on feet, it's like the glue just like fell apart.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, never again. I'm done looking for patent leather pairs.
Nah,
So that was my only Rashid, and I'm glad it is because I was looking to get the other patent leather pairs. So good thing I didn't. Cool.
Now, with you being a vet, like you've been collecting for a while, what interests you nowadays?
I would say the old stuff that brings memories, like memories hanging out outside in the summertime playing dominoes. Like people were outside, like playing spades, drinking outside, having fun, going to the carnivals to get the girls. Now you don't see that no more. People just you go outside, you hang out. Now your chances of getting shot is like 100%. Like it's not like before where you had people show love when you pass. It was like family oriented and stuff like that. Now it's like you're on my block, this is my block, stuff like that. So it's not as fun as back in the days. Like kids don't even know what bulldog is.
Yeah.
So, but I would say like old stuff from like those type of eras. Like even though I'm not a Jordan guy, like I remember people wearing the Jordan 12 lows. That was like a summertime shoe. The violet 10s, the mint 10s, the Flint 7s. That was the last Jordan I wanted. And I told my girlfriend at the time, get that for my birthday because they came out around my birthday in May. She didn't get it. So that was like my last time trying to get Jordans. Wearing the Jordan 2 lows, I had the University blues. I had the University red pair. So those type of shoes bring back like great memories hanging out in the summertime in New York.
All right. And you're not a Jordan guy now?
No. I respect certain silhouettes and a lot of the silhouettes that people don't like 14s and 2s are my favorites. And nobody liked them back then. 14s killed it with the colors, the forest greens, that brown pair. I had the Nick, like the kind of, we called it the Nick colorway, the Pacific blue with the little hints of orange. Yeah. And I had the Jordan jersey to match. Like those were the good days.
Yeah.
Now it's all about the Jordan 4, the 3, the 11. Back then, people didn't appreciate like the 5s, the burgundy 5s and stuff like that.
Yeah. Those are actually supposed to come back.
Yep.
So we'll see. It's a few pairs like that I'm still holding on to them, but I'm kind of afraid to look in that box because I know I'm gonna be hurt. Like my Olive 5s crumbled during the pandemic, and I was messed up for a few days behind that. Because
now you could probably get the retro on discount. Hopefully, it goes to the outlet. Do a soul swap, and you have a brand new pair from back then.
Yeah. I like the Olive pair. One shoe is still good. It's just the other one, like the right foot. That's the worst. I'd rather them both crumble, So
that Olive pair was like when like that undefeated kind of vibe was like in. Everybody wanted like that olive and orange kind of combo.
Yeah, because I feel like they came out with it a little bit after they came out with that undefeated 4, and it was only the 72 pairs.
Yeah, that's when those were like the first LS pairs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the 17 was a dope pair too with the suitcase. Everybody wanted the CD. Yeah, those were good times, and those are times you ain't gonna get now with the way the sneaker market is. Everybody just wants hype, off-white. They don't even got like Virgil clothes. They don't even know his beginning, but they want off-white, and it's a grail right away.
They don't know
dropped
about the
yesterday.
Pyrex.
The grail.
Yeah, they don't know about the Pyrex. But I don't know. Where I feel like a dinosaur is, I know I was in a sneaker battle and nobody knew what a lifestyle Jordan was, and I'm like, maybe I'm a little, maybe I'm a little.
I remember my boy skipped class to go get when the Spike Lee's first came out, and Spike Lee signed it, and at that time that shoe was going for like people wanted 600, and that was a good amount of change. That's when around like the Dub Zeros were like one of the top shoes. That they even had fakes, like we'll make fun of people because It was the
Also,
orange Dub Zeros that were very popular. And I think the fake ones didn't have the silver piece on the back tab or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And you'll get called out for that from going to 28th Street.
Yeah, I remember
Like
that.
those are times you won't get back.
Yeah. Remember I had the white and black Dub Zeros with the blue, but they had SpongeBob on the side. Like, I never forget
Oh
that.
yeah.
Like, man, what a time.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, out of all of your collection, what's 5 shoes you can't part with?
Well, I parted ways with it before was the Galaxy Foamposite.
Mm-hmm.
I regret selling the pair because I got that whole pack for retail, and I actually camped out 3 days in 125th.
Mm.
That was the only shoe that I did that crazy camp out for and was willing to kill somebody for that shoe if they try to skip in line. And if anybody, from Harlem knows, 125th is not a cakewalk. You gotta be somebody to like actually get your shoes, or they'll wait for you outside and take your shoes from you. I've seen people get stabbed, jumped, shot in 125th. They don't care if it's your grandmother. Like, they will take your shoes if you're not from that area. So it was like risking your life to get these type of shoes, especially Atmos is right across the street. You got Champs, you had Jimmy Jazz, and that Jimmy Jazz, was it Jimmy Jazz or Dr. J's? It was like a weird like store that it got Galaxy foams and stuff like that, just like House of Hoops. So it was crazy. But I'll say the Galaxy foams, the Air Max 1 Puerto Ricos, because I proposed to my fiance in those.
Mm.
What else? I will probably say shoes that I probably won't ever retro and probably won't ever find. The Quest Loves, paid in full, special box. What else? And if I get the Carolina Pros, I'm not letting that shoe go again.
Yeah. No, that's it's not one you
and
see.
it varies each day. You kind of it's hard to pick 5.
Yeah.
I could pick 30. The 5's kind of
Fair enough. Fair enough. I really feel like out of all the shoes I have, it's the only one that I could say like I'm going to die with them is my 94 Chicago ones, because I've had them since 8th grade. Like, I've had them since back. So they've been through before I was an adult. Like, I'm 42. So I've had them for a long time. So that's really the only shoe that's like, nah.
Yeah.
But and my Magic Johnson Converse weapon. Magic's my favorite player.
nice.
So just those are only 2 I could think of off top. Shit.
Yeah. For me, I still got to get a couple pairs that, like the Human Torch was one of the ones that brought back so many memories. That was like my number 1 summer shoe, besides like a Solar Red 8 LeBron. That Solar Red LeBron is the only shoe that I wore to death. It actually has sole separation.
Wow.
And it wasn't even that bad, and I ended up throwing it out because, the toe box area, the mesh kind of starts to rip. And I wore it so much, and they haven't retroed it. They retroed the Sprite. I'm hoping they retro that.
I used to feel like I used to want the South Beach LeBron 8 to be a version 2, like what you're talking about. But now I kind of am glad it's a version 1, even though you got to walk light and make sure you don't scrape, the paint on the toe. But yeah, I'll always say that era we were talking about with Nike basketball, the South Beach 8 and the Grinch 6, those are the shoes that kickstarted that.
Yeah. I had every Kobe that dropped. I even had, like, overseas, the Barcelona pack. I did a trade. I traded the Transformer, Optimus Prime, Air Max 95s, and probably like a couple of, like $300. And I got both Barcelona pairs, which at that time, I think there's only 600 pairs or something like that in the world, overseas exclusive. I did that trade with a big Air Max head overseas. That was a super steal.
Yeah.
For my Dr. Dooms, OGs, and the Carolina Pros, I traded a LeBron 8 Entourage desk stock for those. Those are the only, like, 2 trades I ever did in my life, and I came out the big winner in those.
Yeah. That Entourage 8 is one I'm kind of surprised they didn't retro. It's one of my favorite 8s to wear other than the South Beach.
But it
So
looks like they're doing it weird. They'll throw a couple of sevens here, then they'll go to the 10. It's like they're sprinkling a little bit here and there, and then they'll mix it up every other year.
yeah, yeah. Tito's Kicks asked, what's your personal favorite Air Max in your collection?
Well, it varies on the day. When I have a new baby added to the collection, it change. So I got the 112 Clark Kent. And the crazy thing about these shoes, even though, I get them on the resale market, they have a story to it. So that Clark Kent, I actually purchased off of one of my subscribers without knowing. And he had an emergency. He broke his foot. He doesn't have insurance. So he got to pay a $35K, medical bill. So I'm like, crap. Now you're telling me this story. He showed me proof, and I'm like, he's like, you're the Air Max guy from YouTube. I'm like, I can't lowball this guy now. So he messed up my whole plan. I was trying to get it for like 6, 5. He needs money. But that's a cool story with that he actually watches the channel, and, he that was his grail. And that injury happened. And unfortunately, he never got to wear them, and he had to sell them. But I got it for a good price because right now they're like $2,000.
Yeah.
So I got a steal price for those. So that's probably my favorite right now because it took so long to find a pair because people have these shoes and they don't wear them. And they have them brand new and they're just crumbling. You can see the air unit like fogged up, ready to pop. So this one was, I think the guy tried it on. So at least the glue is kind of strong. So it's wearable. It doesn't have cracks on the 3M or nothing. So that's my favorite right now until I find something else.
All right. Now, we touched on Kobe's. You have a favorite Kobe silhouette?
Yep. I would say I kind of like the one because I like the old school bulky basketball shoes. And the one from I like it. But I would say the 6.
Okay. Yeah. My favorite Kobe's are the 2 probably least popular ones that they'll probably never protro, but I love the 2 and the 3. They're just so hard to. I have a decent amount of 2s, but the 3, I only have 2, and I like the 2 common pairs, but all those other pairs are just so expensive, and they were expensive when he was still living. So it's not even like they shot up after he died.
And the 10s, I like the 10s.
Yeah, the 10 was a good one. My favorite low top Kobe's, mine are probably the 5 and the 7.
I like the 5s too.
Yeah.
The only thing they're pricey.
Yeah, and you gotta hope the fly wire and the
like the older pairs are like separated, and you gotta find an expert that knows how to, and you gotta see if it's you can salvage it.
Yeah. Now, with you being into all of this stuff that's all been on Nike ID at one point, have you ever ID'd any shoes?
Yeah, so my first time IDing was the 30th anniversary of the Air Max 90.
Okay.
They did like the old school logos. I did 4 pairs. I went crazy. But I'm not an ID guy.
Okay.
So like I don't look at them as a shoe like Nike actually released.
I got you.
I made my pairs. I was happy when I made them, but it was COVID time. I'm stuck in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I've only worn 1 pair out of 4. Like I make cool colorways, the old school like neon, the infrared.
Mm-hmm.
But they're okay. I'm not a big. The only like IDs is probably like the Soul Collector ones. Like those are special ID pairs, like the Dubai Dunk stuff like that.
Okay.
But customizing my stuff, like it took me hours to like think of ideas for those shoes. So it's not that easy.
Nah, I get you. Now, lastly, I do want to touch on SBs. With dunks, you a high dunk guy or a low dunk guy, or does it matter?
I prefer highs over lows.
I'm not the only one there.
Yeah. I think the lows got some crazy colors, but I think the highs just look better, especially when you like wear it with jeans and stuff. It just looks way nicer, more cleaner. And it kind of looks like a Jordan 1 where you could wear it like with a suit and stuff, depending which one you're wearing. So it looks nice. Like even like Dunk High, like I don't have a lot, but I have like the DJ AMs. Like I will wear that with like a blazer and stuff to like an expensive steak restaurant, and it'll look super clean.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was gonna ask, do you have a favorite SB dunk?
Uh, One that I'm hunting is the Uncles.
Mm.
But one that I have is the Paid in Full, which I was super lucky to get that shoe, especially the special box version, and I only paid $450.
Okay.
And that was during COVID. I was hunting these collectors down, just buying, because they were just like selling for crazy steals. And now you can see there's no crazy steals. People want like $5,000 for that shoe.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say my favorite SB is probably the De La Soul High, the first one, the
Okay.
brown one.
I recently got those a few months back. I prefer the low of that one over the high, but the high is very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's hard to find those in good condition because the Velcro is like ripped.
Yeah.
And I got mine for a good price. I paid like $6. They're like $8 to $1,000.
Yeah.
And this guy probably wore the shoe probably one time because it barely has any creases.
Yeah, and then with a lot of those dunks, I'm sure you do too. I always look at the heel drag because
Yeah,
you cut back.
yeah.
Like
Is the thing. I tell people like with the SBs, like skaters were actually wearing them, so you're gonna see like those tread marks and the scrapes on the side. It's like Air Maxes. Like people don't hold on to them. That's why you see a lot of rare Jordans on the market because people kind of hold them, memorabilia and stuff like that. But when it comes to like Air Maxes, people are rocking them. So the rare ones, that's why they're so high if you find it brand new or even pre-owned, because people actually wear the shoe, so it's hard to find them. And the same with SBs, people actually rock them. So you're gonna have to buy a beat pair and kind of fix it up if you want it for a good price.
Yeah. Yeah, or just rock it. Like I remember one of the first SBs I ever bought used. This was only a few years after they came out, and they're plain SB, but the T19s, just the all blue with the perforated, like somebody definitely skated them because it's scrapes and everything on them. I just wear them when it's bad weather.
Yeah. Yeah, if you watch the SB documentary, these skaters were getting these rare SBs that they didn't even know were rare at the time. And they're like, I would have never wore them if I knew this stupid shoe was going for like $1,500.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that because now SBs are kind of hyped that the prices went up now. Even back in 2006, like certain shoes, people knew what was good and what wasn't. You were going to pay $800 at that time, which was crazy for like a Paris Dunk.
Yeah.
You were going to
cheap now.
Pay like $500, depending, because people got to remember, there's not a lot of skate shops in New York. So if you actually want some SBs and stuff, if you don't have the connections, you have to look elsewhere. So they're gonna charge you the high.
Yeah, it's certain ones that have always, like any of the Futura ones have always, the Flames, that stuff has always been high.
Yeah.
The Pro Bs have always been high. The fucking Paul Browns and all of anything like that.
Yeah, I was looking at the Paul Browns. But they messed up the toe box area. But they still want like 900 or something like that.
Yeah, like I want the wheat ones with the maple swoosh, the wheat with the brown swoosh. Like I really need those, but when I find them, they're either fucked up or they're $900.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I'm like, it's a dunk from 2002. Doesn't even have an SB box because they weren't doing that yet. So can't pay that much for them. I might pay $3-4, but that's tops.
Yeah. The good thing is that all you have to really do is just like resew them and glue them back and they're good to go.
Yeah.
That's a good, they could last, if they don't have heel drag and stuff like that, they're pretty good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Air Maxes and SBs, to me, they're some of the best silhouettes because they tell a story. They have they have a history to it. And I love the themes to it. And now you see kind of Jordan kind of copying that and making his own little stories to try to kind of mimic those silhouettes.
And I feel like starting with kind of like the late 2000s, I feel like they were seeing how, all the dunks had nicknames.
Yeah.
And they're like, we got to make Jordans like this.
Yeah.
Now all the Jordans have nicknames. Before it was only a few.
Yeah.
Great.
Or they'll make crazy stories like the bubble gum Jordan 1. oh, Michael chewed a gum and he spit on the floor. That's a great story. Like when SB does a story to a shoe, like it really has like a deep story to it, meaning, and they have the designers actually work on it, the artists and stuff. So that's pretty dope.
And it's not too literal. It's not like Fila having a collab with Sprite and they got the Sprite logo on the side of the shoe. It's like Nike wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
At least not for general release.
Yeah.
It might be some.
And the crazy thing is too, there's a lot of SBs that never technically released. Like you got the Paid in Fools, you have the Oakland Highs, the Nasty Boy Lows. A lot of those shoes were cool because Nike SB didn't really give a shit. They kind of did what they wanted to. And a lot of those shoes are iconic for that.
Yeah, Iron Maidens and all that. Yeah.
There's a couple of people with Iron Maidens, but they ain't real.
Freddy's too.
Yeah. A lot of Freddy's. And it's hard with the Freddy's because they have so many different variations. You have the ones with the oil spill, then you got like the samples. Like SB Collector goes crazy with those Freddy's.
Yeah. Oh man, good times. Well, I appreciate you being here, man. I know you're busy.
Appreciate you having me on.
No problem, man. Before we go, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, when we gonna see you in another tournament?
Soon. I'm in the middle of moving, so that's kind of why everything is kind of jumbled now.
I saw you said once I'm moving, I'm gonna be battling.
Yeah. So, Sneaker Supremacy, who has the heat, that I'll be back.
Yeah, I want to see you on Sneaker Supremacy. I battled Tomcat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden guys in there that you think they don't have nothing until they show up and they take you back through history.
Yeah. Now, I look forward to it. I like doing that kind of stuff because I'm competitive, so I have to keep reminding myself it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah. Same with me. I'm competitive, but I like to. You gotta channel. You gotta challenge yourself and show dope shoes to answer the questions and kind of. You get to talk about the history because usually, unless you know another sneakerhead, you ain't talking about these shoes' histories to other people. They're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
My fiance goes crazy when I'm talking about sneakers. She don't even know what I'm talking about. So it's always good to like do battles and stuff where you can actually see stuff you don't see on a regular basis and talk about it.
Yeah. Does Public Enemy have a collaboration shoe with Nike? I know Vans did, and I think Puma did.
Yeah, I don't think that with Nike.
Nah. Okay, sir. Well, look, man, I appreciate you. I'm definitely be in touch with you. I'm gonna be looking, because you always posting crazy stuff. I'm a fan, and I definitely appreciate you being here. Thank you.
And appreciate your post showing the OG stuff, that a lot of people kind of forgot about.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man.
And you got a crazy Converse collection too.
Yeah, this whole room I'm in is just full of Converse.
Yeah. It's like what, 300 pairs, 500?
Well, actually, it's 398 for Converse.
There you go.
So
crazy.
But yeah. Well, I'll fill you in more on why this is set up this way, in the DM. But I'm gonna go ahead and run. Thank you again.
Nope. Thank you
for watching.
Yep. Salutes.
All right, man. Peace.
Have a good one.
You too, man.